How's it going, everybody? The new season has started, the 7 rework characters released, and an event is currently going on. We'll be going over some of the additional changes that came with this patch. For the full overview, please check the patch notes down in the video description. I will not be going over every single change, and I'll also try not to repeat myself too often when it comes to the reworks. For the most part, they came like advertised, but also some unexpected tweaks were snuck in. For some, this also means that new punishes are now available. I'll be updating Shugoki and Gladiator soon. These two seem to have had their kit altered enough to warrant 2 new videos, so feel free to share if you found some new stuff. Let's actually talk about these two straight away. First, Hugo. The community's opinion seems to be a little split on him. Some think he was nerfed, others say he's in a better state than he was previously. 2 reasons here. For one, a dodge bash that does direct damage, that is delayable, has pretty good iframes, and can be chained into a variably timed hyper armor heavy. Well, let's just say that one is pretty good. Hugo always struggled against bash heroes, and it's clearly no longer the case. He was given the tools to counter them consistently now. On the other hand, his hog lost quite a bit of its potency, but ignoring the fact that bash selects completely negated it. With the prospect of what's to come, we could have kept the soft feint and armored version of the hog, I think. But that move also had an 80% hit rate and a shit ton of complaints to its name. Yet people now want it back. I was a little surprised about that, not gonna lie. Regardless though, I think they did the hog dirty. There's very little reason to use it unless it's guaranteed. Feels a little weird to say this now, as this was very true beforehand already, but even more so now. Ubisoft also tinkered with the recoveries again. They've been lowered to 1300 for GB and 1000 for block. This makes it no longer the worst recovery in the entire game. That honor now goes to Raiders Combo Zone. More on him in the next testing rounds. But yeah, for Hog, ignore it is an actual move during a fight and only use it when it's confirmed. Headbutt is your tool of choice now. 10 direct damage and some of its annoying properties got removed. No stamina damage or pause and no stun component anymore. Ubisoft seems to be phasing out all stuns. Why they start with the weak ones, I don't know. My bet is on Lawbringer losing his last, as it's the only really working one. We'll see. I'm going on a lot of tangents here. I'll stop. One more Hugo change. That's to his Demon Drift, or the lack thereof. The Super Sprint is now very much in tune with how Shinobi's works. It's got new effects and also a bit of an annoying sound effect on top. But it is very much a usable move. Hugo's map movement improved significantly because of it. Alright then, I'll get to his new feat after all the rework talk. And Hugo is also getting his own video about Stagger and Blow. It's a feat people will learn to hate if they are not already doing so. Moving on to Gladiator. From what I've seen in terms of labbing and talk from comp players, it seems like the extra revenge gain on Skewer knocked Gladiator down a peg. The prime ganker seems to now be Centurion again. As I've explained in the past, Gladiator's ganks were extremely potent because of the small amount of revenge of Skewer. This patch added 30 revenge to that move, as well as making toe stabbing after a Skewer a lot more finicky. That seems to have been enough to knock him out of the meta, well, more or less. While it certainly needed changes, I don't think the intention was to have less pick variety, but it's not exactly easy to balance this niche for a hero. A tiny difference can already mean that another hero has beaten you. But there were further changes, including his toe stab. It no longer unbalances when your opponent is out of stamina, and its damage has been upped to 10. For the dodge bashes, forward dodge bash is 500 millisecond now, making it fall in line with Centurion's kick. And they removed the delay window from the side dodge one, but did increase the iframes. While the patch notes call it active dodge, we'll see if that term catches on. And similar to Shugoki, they also lost the stun property. Except for the punch after a skewer wall pin, that one still stuns. as well as the parry riposte. Then there are a lot of chain link mentions in the notes. Remember, you got a lot of additional chains now, and many of them also allow you to delay your next attack by quite a bit. It also makes it very risky for the opponent to try and GB a lot of your moves on a dodge. Well, not like everyone is doing dodge attacks all day every day anyways. But in case, remember that chain attacks do beat the guard break attempts. All in all, Gladiator seems to be in a bit of a weird spot. His ganks needed a nerf, and some of his other aspects needed a buff. While his ganks are still fine to use, they now fall behind Centurions. And I'm honestly not sure if he can make up for it with the rest of his kit. All these extra chains are nice, but his offense still suffers, as in he has to feint to neutral a shit ton. I've been going on for a while now and we've only just covered 2 of the 7 heroes, so let's speedrun through the others so we can get to the stuff we haven't known about. Aramusha's range issues have been addressed, and so far from our testing, you can still very much dodge, ring the bell and heavy on a single timing, and there still seems to be an early dodge timing to be able to counter guard break. So if you fight an Aramusha that really likes the soft feint, keep backwalking. Oh, and he's now a proper Spamurai according to Reddit. Jungjun's choke is now pretty much limited to stalling, as the stamina drain has been reduced significantly. Personally, I'm fine with that, but opinions differ. Hitukiri got a slight damage reduction on her combo heavies, down from 24 to 22, and her dodge attacks are no longer delayable, but the target swap issue has been fixed. Berserker got no changes, and Jianhu is pretty much the best teamfighter in the game, just as expected. Bara made a video with 16 tips, go check that one out. Alright then, a new feat was introduced. Rocksteady was killed and replaced with Short Tempered. The feat increases your damage after you've been hit. It is a 20 damage increase that lasts for 5 seconds and then has a 10-second cooldown. The feat is available on Shugoki and Aramusha. It's pretty obvious that it's better on Shugo, as he has a reliable way of trading with his hyper armored attacks. Depending on your opponent's heavy speed, you can opt for trades and simply choose to always parry on light timing. But the feat, it still competes with Juggernaut and Smoke Bomb on both of those heroes. It's probably still the third choice in that slot, but I think it's far from a bad feat. It's almost like you have 3 viable choices in that slot now. Alright then, let's talk UI. The patch notes mention only one thing. You now get a pop-up when one of your player reports has led to an investigation. Now, I personally think this is a terrible precedent to set. Reports are being abused in every game. If you don't like someone, if someone played badly, if someone just looked at you funny, people report them, as in that moment, it's the only way to somehow get back at them. Now with these pop-ups, that shitty behavior is just reinforced. Mind you, I'm not saying that certain player behavior doesn't warrant a report, but this whole process only further increases toxicity and does nothing to actually fix anything. This is way too big a topic to include here in this video, but I heavily disagree with this trend. But there's more to the UI. As you've seen in the recordings here, we have a new font for the point pop-ups and some other additional things that pop up in the middle of your screen. At this point, I don't think the UI team actually receives any of our feedback or simply doesn't care. Every single change to the UI has been absolutely random and is completely hit or miss. Fair enough that they decide what they think is best. They are the professionals and are being paid for their work. They know what's possible and what changes fit within the budget. I know I've given tons of feedback and so have others. Asking for shit not to pop up in the middle of the fucking screen and blinding me all the time, it's really not that much to ask for, but I guess adding more of that was their answer. I officially give up. No more suggestions from me. I'd love to hear from the UI team about all of this. It's very much possible that I'm just ignorant here and that I lack understanding. Please enlighten me. I'd love to be able to give better feedback. I think I'll leave it at that. But there are more small customization updates that you can check in the patch notes. I also sadly couldn't get a clip of the out of bounds issues. I know someone made a whole video about this, but I couldn't find it. If you happen to watch the video, feel free to drop yours in the comment section. It featured quite a few of those if I remember correctly. Like I said in the beginning, more videos are coming, and I'm sure new stuff will be discovered with these reworked characters, so I don't think there will be a shortage of stuff to talk about. For now, I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.